Have you ever felt like there's an invisible tension lingering in your relationships? As if someone close to you isn't as supportive as they seem? What if I told you that jealousy often hides behind warm smiles and congratulatory words, waiting for the perfect moment to strike? Imagine discovering that the person you thought was cheering for you has secretly been rooting for your downfall. Chilling, isn't it? But here's the most shocking part. Jealousy is rarely obvious. It's sneaky, subtle, and cloaked in behaviors that seem harmless at first. Today, we're unraveling the 12 undeniable signs that someone is jealous of you. And trust me, these aren't just ordinary traits. Each one has the power to expose hidden envy in ways you've never imagined. So, before you brush off that uneasy feeling, ask yourself, what if the person closest to you isn't really on your side? Stick with me until the end. What you're about to uncover might just change the way you see the people around you forever. Point one. Passive-aggressive behavior. Have you ever had someone compliment you in a way that didn't feel quite right? Like there was a hidden jab underneath their words? Jealous people excel at passive-aggressiveness, using sarcasm and veiled comments to mask their true feelings. They might say something like, "Oh, look at you getting fancy now," when you've achieved something significant, making you question whether it was praise or criticism. These subtle digs aren't just random. They're calculated attempts to chip away at your confidence. Think about it. How many times have you laughed off a joke that left you feeling uneasy? The truth is, passive-aggressive remarks are like poison in your relationships, slowly eroding trust and positivity. Recognizing this behavior is your first line of defense against its toxic effects. Point two. Downplaying your achievements. Picture this. You've just accomplished something incredible, and instead of genuine congratulations, you're met with a dismissive, "Well, it's not that big of a deal." Sound familiar? Jealous people struggle to acknowledge your wins because it forces them to confront their own insecurities. They might say things like, "Anyone could have done that," or "You just got lucky." But here's the kicker. Their dismissiveness isn't about you, it's about them. They can't handle the idea that you're excelling in areas where they feel inadequate. So, let me ask you, how often do people in your life make you feel like your hard work doesn't matter? Don't let their envy dim your shine. You've earned every bit of your success. Point three. Imitation without credit. Have you ever noticed someone copying your ideas, style, or even your personality, but they never give you credit? At first, it might seem flattering. After all, imitation is supposed to be the sincerest form of flattery. But when it's driven by jealousy, it's anything but. Jealous individuals mimic you not out of admiration, but as a way to compete. They want what you have, but instead of building their own identity, they'll replicate yours. Imagine sharing a creative idea, only to see someone else present it as their own. Frustrating, right? This behavior is more than just annoying. It's a red flag that their envy is running deeper than they're willing to admit. Have you experienced this? If so, it's time to recognize it for what it is and protect your originality. Point four. Celebrating your failures. Have you ever caught someone smirking or sounding unusually cheerful when something goes wrong for you? It's unsettling, isn't it? Jealous people often find satisfaction in your setbacks because it makes them feel better about their own shortcomings. They might say, "Oh, I'm so sorry that happened," but their tone tells a different story. Their faux sympathy is a thinly veiled attempt to mask their delight in your struggles. This behavior is toxic, not just because it's hurtful, but because it reveals their inability to genuinely support you. Think back. Have you ever felt like someone's concern wasn't entirely genuine? It's time to pay attention to those moments and ask yourself why they're rooting for your failure. Point five. One-upping you constantly. Do you have someone in your life who turns every conversation into a competition. No matter what you've achieved, they always have to outdo you. Share a personal victory, and they'll immediately respond with something they've done that's bigger or better. For example, you might mention that you've started a new hobby, and they'll reply with, "Oh, I've been doing that for years." This relentless need to one-up you isn't about sharing accomplishments. It's about diminishing yours. Why do they do this? Because your success reminds them of their own insecurities, and outshining you is their way of coping. How often do you feel like someone's trying to steal your spotlight? It's exhausting, but recognizing this behavior can help you set boundaries and protect your peace. Point 6. Excluding you from plans. Have you ever felt left out without explanation? Maybe you find out about a gathering or event after the fact and wonder why you weren't invited. Jealous people often exclude others as a way to assert control or superiority. By leaving you out, they're trying to make you feel small or insignificant. This behavior can be especially hurtful when it comes from someone you considered a friend. Think about it. Has anyone in your life made you feel like an outsider for no clear reason? This isn't just a coincidence. It's a deliberate act of jealousy, and it's important to address it before it damages your confidence. Point 7. Spreading rumors about you. Have you ever heard a false or exaggerated story about yourself and wondered where it came from? Jealous people often resort to gossip as a way to undermine your reputation. They'll spread rumors to cast doubt on your character or accomplishments, hoping to turn others against you. This isn't just petty behavior. It's malicious and harmful. Have you ever confronted someone about spreading lies and noticed their defensiveness or denial? That's jealousy at its core, and it's crucial to protect yourself from its toxic effects. Point 8. Sabotaging your efforts. Have you ever felt like someone was intentionally making things harder for you? Maybe they forgot to share important information or gave you advice that led you astray. Jealous people sometimes go out of their way to sabotage your success, whether it's by withholding support, spreading misinformation, or actively interfering with your plans. This behavior isn't just frustrating. It's a deliberate attempt to hold you back. Think about it. Has anyone in your life made you question whether their mistakes were truly accidental? Recognizing this kind of sabotage is essential to protecting your progress. Point 9. Refusing to celebrate your wins. Have you ever shared exciting news, only to be met with indifference or a lukewarm response? Jealous people struggle to celebrate others' successes because it reminds them of their own shortcomings. Instead of offering genuine congratulations, they'll either downplay your achievement or shift the focus back to themselves. For example, you might announce a big promotion and they'll respond with, "That's great, but I've been so busy with my own projects." How often do you feel like your victories are met with silence or deflection? Don't let their envy diminish your joy. Your success deserves to be celebrated. Point 10. Overanalyzing your choices. Have you ever felt like someone was scrutinizing your every move, questioning or criticizing your decisions in ways that felt unnecessary? Jealous people often overanalyze your choices, not out of genuine concern, but as a way to make you doubt yourself. They might say things like, "Are you sure that's the best idea?" Or, "I wouldn't have done it that way." This constant questioning can make you second-guess yourself, even when you're confident in your decisions. Have you noticed this type of behavior in someone close to you? It's jealousy disguised as advice, and it's important to see through it. Point 11. Acting overly competitive. Do you know someone who turns every interaction into a competition? Whether it's about career achievements, personal milestones, or even trivial matters, they always have to prove they're better. This behavior isn't about healthy rivalry. It's about insecurity and jealousy. They're not just competing with you. They're trying to outshine you at all costs. How often do you feel like someone's constant competitiveness is draining the joy out of your accomplishments? It's a clear sign of envy that can strain even the strongest relationships. Point 12. Resentment disguised as support. Have you ever felt like someone's encouragement wasn't entirely genuine? Jealous people often mask their resentment with feigned support, offering compliments that feel more like backhanded remarks. For example, they might say, "I'm so happy for you, but it must be nice to have that kind of luck," implying that your success wasn't earned. This kind of resentment can be hard to spot because it's wrapped in politeness. Have you experienced this in your relationships? If so, it's time to reevaluate who truly has your back. In conclusion, jealousy is a silent but destructive force that can hide in plain sight. Recognizing these 12 signs can help you protect your peace and focus on the relationships that truly matter. So, let me ask you, how many of these behaviors have you seen in the people around you? And more importantly, what will you do to address them? The power to create a healthier, more supportive environment starts with you.